So, good morning, everyone. We will start with the next topic under Unit 4. Now, till now, we have covered what is the meaning of bond and what are the features and types of bond. Now, we come to the factors that affect the value or price of a bond. The first and the most important factor being the market interest rates. So you people already know that there is an inverse relationship between the interest rate and price of the bond. Now I'll take attendance later. Okay. So there is an inverse relation between interest rates and the price of the bond, and how do you explain that? Now, if your company has issued bond at 10% interest rate and the market interest rate increases to 12%, then your bond becomes less attractive to the investor as compared to the 12% bond. As a result, to sell your bond, you will have to lower the price of the bond. Okay, so if the interest rate in the market is increasing, you will have to lower the price of the bond to make it saleable in the market. So there's an inverse relation, vice versa also. If you are offering a 10% interest bond and the market is offering 8% rate of return, then you can sell your bond at a premium. Okay, the investor will find your bond to be more attractive vis-a-vis the other competitors in the market, and hence you can charge a premium on the price of the bond. Okay, let's move to the next factor affecting the price of bond, that is the coupon rate. Coupon rate is the interest rate that is being offered on the bond as the annual, semi-annual, quarterly, जो भी आपका पेमेंट का regularity है, that interest rate which is being offered is the coupon rate. Coupon rate is always a percentage of the face value of the bond, and there is a positive relation between coupon rate and the price of the bond, which makes sense also. Higher the coupon rate, higher will be the value of the bond. Next is the redemption value. Again, you can redeem the bond at par or at premium. Higher the redemption value, greater will be the price of the bond. Next factor is years to maturity. Now, years to maturity basically depends or is explaining the duration of the bond. The longer the duration, more are the uncertainties with respect to bonds. Okay, there will be more fluctuations of interest rates in the market, but keeping all the things into consideration, the longer the duration, more is the price of the bond. Because in real terms, the investor is expecting more return from the company. And last is frequency of interest payments. So payments on payments on the bond can be annual, semi-annual, quarterly, monthly. So higher the frequency of payment, higher will be the bond price. Can anyone tell me why should this be the case? If there's higher frequency of interest payments, what impact does it have on the return to the investor? Let's take a simple example. Say you are having a 10% bond, rupees 100 bond, and there are two cases. One is when the interest is paid per annum, and second is when the interest is paid semi-annual. So where are you getting more return? In case of semi-annual, yes, because if you recall, we did a concept of effective rate of interest. Okay, so if a 100 rupee bond is giving you per annum interest, then the return here will be rupees 10. But a semi-annual bond will give you somewhere around say 5 rupees at the end of 6 months, then a 5% return on 105. Okay, so that will be around how much? 105 into 5%, 225, 5.25 for the next 6 months. So effectively you are earning 10.25 rupees on this bond. Okay, so that is higher than the annual interest which you are receiving. So we prefer bonds, we prefer higher frequency in payment because your effective rate of interest increases. So for such types of bonds, the price will also be higher in the market. Okay, I hope all the points are clear. We now move to the valuation of bonds. Okay, so bond valuation using the discounted cash flow technique. Okay, so by this time, all of you know that discounted cash flow technique is giving you the intrinsic value of the security by discounting all the expected future cash flows from the investment. Okay, so when I talk about bond investment, what are we expecting? We are expecting regular interest payments from the company and the principal amount or the redemption value at the end of the duration of the bond. So here the intrinsic value will be, say you have a 2-year bond, so this becomes interest the first year, first interest in the second year, plus the redemption value at the end of the second year. So the present value of all these cash flows which you are expecting from the bond will give you the intrinsic value, and then the rule, if your intrinsic value is greater than the market value, you should go for purchase of the security, purchase of the bond. And if the intrinsic value is less than the market value, you shouldn't purchase the bond. Okay, so let us start some questions on the same. Okay, so please have a look at the question on your screens. There is a rupees 1000 bond, par value bond carrying a coupon of 6% and is redeemable after 3 years. The required rate of return is 12%. What is the value of the bond if the interest is paid annually? Okay, we'll start with the first question. So to calculate the intrinsic value, this is a 3-year bond. Every year you will be receiving 60 rupees on the bond. So this becomes 60. And then at the end of the third year, you will also receive back the face value, the redemption value, the par value of the bond. So you can solve this, or else you can use the present value tables. So 60 into PVAF percent. So both ways you will get the same answer. Prefer using the table. I'll give you the table values. PVF, this value is 0.712 and this value is 2.402. So please solve this question. What is the answer you are getting? What is the final answer? $856. So the real worth of this bond is rupees 856, and most of you have got this answer. Now, the last part, the last statement in the question says, should the investor buy the bond if the market price is 855? So, in the first part, yes, the investor should purchase the bond because the intrinsic value is greater than the market value. So, it is a worthwhile investment for the investor. Okay. So, now you can start solving the second and third part of the question. Second part में semi-annual payment है interest की, so you are receiving 30, and when it will be quarterly, then you divide it by 4. Start solving. Should I give you the table values if you're not having the table? Just note down the table values for all the parts. So, the second part is about semi-annual. So, your interest rate will fall by half and your number of payments will increase by again twice the number of payments will you be having, and this will be 6% at the end of 6th year. So I'm giving you the value. This is 4. I'm also giving the values for the third part. do is I'll display the question with this. So you can now solve the second and third part and give the answers. Okay, rest of you also solve. There is some mistake you people are making. This is not the answer. Have you divided the interest by 2? 30 से करोगे आप and with 15 in the third part. What happened? The second part will be 50 into 4.917 plus 1000 into 0.705. Yes, Kabir, you are right. The answer will be 852. Please be careful. This is a semi-annual interest payment. So you are receiving this amount with every installment. Okay, so that becomes 852.51. Okay. So in the second part of the question, your intrinsic value is lower than the market value, so you wouldn't be purchasing this bond. And third part gives you a value of 850.31. Yes, absolutely correct. Again, in the third case also, we will not be purchasing the bond. Okay. I hope this is clear to everyone. We move to the next question. Redemption values. So, this is the question. A bond is having a face value of 1000 and the coupon rate of 14% is redeemable after 10 years. Interest is payable annually. You have to find out the intrinsic value if the required rate of return is 16%, and then you are given the redemption values. In the first part, the bond is being redeemed at discount, and in the second part, the bond is being redeemed at premium. Okay, I will share the table values with you for the same. So this will be will be solving. Let me give you the table values. Okay, so please check for the first part. For the second part also I am writing the values. The value will be the same because the frequency of installment payment is the same. We can solve both the parts using these values. What are the answers you are getting for both the parts? Yes, the first part, the answer is correct, 892.27. Okay, and for the second part, the answer is 914.97. Okay, here you can locate the reason when you're getting a premium on the bond, then obviously the intrinsic value will be higher. And when the bond is being redeemed at discount, then the intrinsic value is lower. Okay, I hope all of you have got this answer. We now move ahead. We come back to the slide. The next term used with respect to bond is the bond yield. Okay, so what is bond yield? It is the return on the investment you are getting on the bond. Okay, I repeat, it is the return on the investment you are making in the bond, and bond yield is a measure of profit whether you should purchase this bond or not. You have a look here. As such, in simple terms, it is the annualized percentage return that you will obtain from buying a bond. Okay. So now, many a times yield and coupon rate are used interchangeably. Now, coupon rate is giving you the return on the face value of the bond, on the par value of the bond, but your yield is giving you the return on the investment made. Okay. Now, how are they different? If you are issuing the bond at face value, 1000 रुपए का bond है, you have issued it at rupees 1000. Your yield and your interest from the bond, your coupon from the bond will be the same. जितना आपको interest मिल रहा है bond से plus the redemption value, that becomes your bond yield. But when the bond is being issued at discount, okay, say 1000 रुपए का bond 950 पर issue हो रहा है. Okay, this is a 10. Let's assume this is a 10% rupees 1000 bond, and it is being issued at rupees 950. So now your yield, your return on investment will be more than the कूपन रेट. ओके, विच मीन्स आपको 10% से ज्यादा रिटर्न मिलेगा इस बॉन्ड पे, क्योंकि ये बॉन्ड आपको डिस्काउंट पे मिला है. So your real return from the investment made will be higher than 10%. Okay. And the case of premium will be vice versa. अगर 950 की जगह आपको ये बॉन्ड 1050 में मिल रहा है, that is you are paying a premium to purchase this bond, then effectively your return on investment will be lower than 10%. Okay, so in that case your yield will be lower than the interest or the coupon rate of the bond. Is this making sense? How yield and coupon rate are different from each other? Any question in this? If the bond is being issued at par, your coupon rate, interest on bond and yield on bond will be the same. But if the bond is being issued at discount, then you are earning more from the investment made, and hence the yield will be higher than the coupon rate. In the other case, if the bond is being issued at premium, you are paying a higher price, your investment is increasing, so return on investment or bond yield in this case will be lower than the coupon rate of interest. Okay, moving ahead. There are three components of yield. It is including the coupon rate, the effect of frequency of payment, and the difference between purchase price and present market price. The bond coupon rate is the rate of interest it pays annually or whatever is the frequency, while yield is the return which it is generating. Okay, coupon rate is percentage of the par value, while yield is the percentage of the investment made on the bond. Okay. So we come to the types of bond yield. The first and the simplest is the करंट यील्ड. करंट यील्ड क्या है कि आप अभी जो मार्केट प्राइस है बॉन्ड का उस पर आपको कितना रिटर्न मिल रहा है. ओके, सो विच इज सिंपली द annual coupon payment divided by the current market price. So say you have a 10% rupees 1000 bond whose market price is also 1000. Okay, so in that case your yield will be 0.10 or 10%. So you're simply dividing the interest received by the current market price of the bond. You get the current yield. Current yield is giving you the return you get by holding the bond for 1 year, for the current year. Okay. A more popular type of yield is the yield to maturity, YTM. Yield to maturity का मतलब क्या है, आपको क्या रिटर्न मिल रहा है इन्वेस्टमेंट में if you are holding the bond till the maturity. Okay, so what is the long term return on the investment made in the bond? Okay, YTM is the interest rate that equates the price of the bond with the cash received from the bond. So that is why it is also known as IRR of the bond. IRR is internal rate of return. Okay, if you remember जब हम capital budgeting techniques कर रहे थे उसमें discounted cash flow techniques में we did IRR. So IRR here, how is YTM equal to the IRR concept because it is the discount rate at which your price of the bond and cash receipts from the bond are equalizing. And their IRR was where the present value of cash inflows was equal to the present value of cash outflows. So how do we write this? Say the price of the bond will be equal to, again let's take a 2-year bond. So this is how you write this. The discount rate at which LHS is equal to RHS is the YTM of the bond. Okay, so like IRR, the calculation is a bit complex because again you are working on hit and trial basis. You put in different discount rates in the formula and the discount rate at which both the sides equate becomes the YTM for the bond. Okay, so there is a simple way, a shortcut to this. Instead of putting the discount rates hypothetically, we try to find an approximation for the YTM. So let's have a look at the first statement. Yield to maturity is the interest rate the investor would receive by reinvesting every coupon payment. So IRR was also the same concept. You are reinvesting the रिटर्न्स जो इनफ्लोज आ रहे थे आपके इंटरमीडिएट जो कैश इनफ्लोज आ रहे थे उनको आप IRR पर ही री इन्वेस्ट कर रहे थे. So here also what we are doing, we are reinvesting the intermediate cash inflows at the YTM itself. So this is the formula as I explained you. And there are two types of approximation for the YTM. These formulas are used to get the lower and the higher discount rate. Okay, and then like in IRR, here also by interpolation, then we come to the accurate YTM. Okay, so first formula you see is annual interest par value minus the market price divided by N upon par value plus market price divided by 2. Now this formula is giving equal weightage to par value and market price. In the denominator, you are giving a 50-50% weightage to both the values. But in the second formula, the numerator remains the same. In the denominator, we are giving 40% weightage to the par value and 60% weightage to the market price. %40 weightage to the maturity value or redemption value and 60% weightage to the market price of the bond. Okay, so you can use either of the formulas, you get an approximation, and then we try to arrive at the accurate YTM. Okay, now how is it done? I will take up a question on the same. Any questions still here? Meaning of YTM? Difference between YTM and coupon rate? Anyone has any doubt? Please put a yes or no in the chat box, class. Only Yuvraj is attending this class. Okay, thank you. So let's take up a question on the same. Okay, so let's see this question. Okay. So the question is there on your screens. I'll write the formula for approximation here. So you can first calculate the approximate YTM. That was the redemption value minus the market price. Use either of the formulas and come to a approximate value. So 10.87%. Okay, 857 or 87. I think if both of you have used a different formula. You can use either of the formulas. Approximately, yes, 10.8587 will roughly be the YTM. Okay, what about the rest of you? Okay, so take either of the values. Piyush, have you used the second formula? First, okay. So you can use either of the formulas. Now you have to arrive at the accurate YTM. How is that done? That I'll explain you. Now from this value you get the lower YTM and the higher YTM. जैसे IRR में आप करते थे lower discount rate and higher discount rate. So now one discount rate will be 10% and the higher will be 11%. There you calculated the NPV at both the discount rates. Here what we do, we calculate the price, intrinsic value at both the discount rates. So which means this was a 10-year bond, intrinsic value of the bond at 10% YTM. So that will give you 90. एनुअल पेमेंट ही है इस पे 9% for 10 years, and the redemption value is 90, so 900 into PVF, 9% for 10 years. The table value is not 9%, we are taking it at 10%. I'm sorry, so this is 10% at 10%, and again 10% for 10 years. This value is 6.145 plus 900 into 0.386. So you calculate the intrinsic value at 10%, and then you calculate the intrinsic value at 11%. 10% value आपकी आएगी to around 891.45. Okay, and when you are using the 11% discount rate, then you will get a value. I'm giving you the value since 5 minutes are left. You have to wind up the class also. I'm just giving you the value here, and then let's arrive at the exact YTM. So at 11% you get a value of 846.81. Okay, if you see, lower discount rate पर आपको higher value मिल रही है, and at the higher discount rate you are getting a lower value. Okay, because as the rate of return here, the YTM increases, the intrinsic value of the bond is falling. Okay, so let's now arrive at the exact value. So to move to the exact value, now the formula will be YTM. Accurate YTM is equal to the lower discount rate plus the value at the lower discount rate minus the market price divided by value at lower minus value at higher into the difference. Okay, so now your lower discount rate is 10%. Value at lower discount rate was 891.45. Okay, you are given the market price currently at 850, 891.45 minus 846.81, and the difference between both the discount rates is 1.